Want Kevin Hart to know. And I don't care who in Philadelphia don't like it. I don't care. I'm letting Lizzo know. I'm letting Cheryl Underwood know. I'm letting Draymond Green know. Tiffany Haddish, Regina Hall. If y'all ever let white people do this to us again, if y'all ever sit at a comedy show and let white people insult and castrate, verbally castrate, and humiliate and shame the black race like y'all did on Mother's Day, we will cancel y'all too. And I'm not playing. Y'all black entertainers better stop playing with the self-respect of black people. You black football players, you black basketball players, you rappers, you goofy ass rappers, you singers, you actors, you dancers, you comedians. I'm telling you now, white folk are going to try to use them, Art. They're going to try to use them to bring back the modern day minstrel show by humiliating us in their faces. And I'm letting the whole black entertainment world know right now, we will march on your ass. We will march on your house. We will boycott your movies. Don't play with me. I'm telling y'all now, I'm talking to every black entertainer in this country. Don't play with me. If you think we're going to sit by and allow you to let white people make a mockery of black people so you can get paid, you got another thing coming.
Hello world, I hope you are doing great. Now, do you remember recently we had a Kevin Hart roast? And it was on Netflix, if I'm not wrong. And it has raised debate on social media because there is a point where white comedian, they irritated black people. Number one, they talked about George Floyd, about how George Floyd, right now, he can't breathe anymore, something like that. Listen to this. Now, welcome. That is one of a statement that made the world to erupt. And people are saying, some are saying a joke is a joke, roast is a roast. Others are saying that was awkward to tarnish or to call up a man whose the family are still mourning, and it was raise something. It is a lot of discussion on social media. I want to listen to this discussion here. Listen to this argument that is going on, the debate, and then you tell me what you think. A roast is a roast, or this was a bad roast towards black people? Because there's a point too, they talked about slavery. Listen to this.
They lured our sister there. They sat her up front, Art. They racially targeted her, and they unloaded on that beautiful dark-skinned black woman all night long. This was a get back for Erica Kirk. Kevin did so well in Saudi Arabia because they thought he was the monkey from Aladdin. Here's another one. Kevin is so short, they will have to lynch him from a bonsai tree. Kevin is so short, they will have to lynch him from a bonsai tree. I got something I want to say. Somebody said that Pastor Jamal Bryant came out, as he should, shout out to Pastor Jamal Bryant, and he rebuked Netflix for this comedy special. Several black people did, but I want Pastor Jamal Bryant to go one step further. You're going to get with other black ministers around the country, and you guys are going to draft a letter. That letter is going to go to Netflix, and you're going to tell Netflix, if anything like this ever happens again, there will be a national black boycott of Netflix. And not only are we going to boycott Netflix in America, we're going to ask our continental African brothers and sisters, our Australian African brothers and sisters, our Canadian African brothers and sisters, our European African brothers and sisters, our Caribbean African brothers and sisters, our Central and South American African brothers and sisters to boycott Netflix. If Netflix ever disrespects black people like this again, you will pay with your pocketbook. I need the black pastors to send Netflix a letter, Art. I need the Congressional Black Caucus to send Netflix a letter. I need the Divine Nine, black fraternities and sororities to send Netflix a letter. I need the Urban League, the NAACP, and every grassroots black organization, the Black Masons included. Send Netflix a letter and tell them, if this ever happens again, Netflix will be canceled by the black African race. You are not going to play in our face as you benefit from our pain. You are not going to play in black people's face as you benefit from our pain. And then Jeff Ross got up there.
I'm not gonna lie, the Kevin Hart roast, the funniest thing in there, which we can all probably agree, was damn Regina Hall's face. That shit was hilarious. It looked as though nobody gave her no rundown on what exactly is about to go down, or to the extent it's about to get, because she was looking around like, how come we ain't throwing hands yet? That shit was hilarious. Even the cameraman started to like try to crop her out, like keep her out of the view. By the end, if you watch it back, they tried to keep her out the cameras, because at first they gave her some close-ups, and then they saw her face. They're like, ooh, so they took her off like the main thing. You know what I'm saying? And then the comedian's not even trying to play with her. Like the comedian's like, I'll pass. That was funny as hell, because apparently in that little group or in Hollywood, it is quite evident, it's quite clear that Regina Hall's not one to play with, because it seemed as though people are like, please don't have her get up and start throwing hands for real. Regina Hall's face looked like on a girl, you say, like you and your girl, like y'all hanging around, right? And then you say a joke or you say something funny, but then like another girl laughs way too hard. You're so funny. Regina Hall was making the face that your girl would make the whole time. That shit was hilarious. Well, it was kind of outlandish. Some of the stuff was. I was very surprised at how much stuff they let get through, because it was all written. It was all on a little teleprompter thing. And they talked about how they went back and forth on letting some jokes go. But some of the ones they let go was insane. Like for anybody. Like even in the comedy space. There's like, hold on now. That's what we doing?
The roast of Kevin Hart was not a comedy show, but it was something more sinister. These people get together. It's like legions of demons in one setting. A lot of y'all missed the trailer for this. I missed it as well, but I recently ran across it. The trailer told us everything that we needed to know. The trailer says the roast of Kevin Hart, and it said, let it burn. Kevin Hart in the trailer walked up to what was supposed to be a lookalike of him, or a clone, or a wax figure. What did he do? He set it on fire and said, burn. Kevin Hart is standing up on a stool, and it's fire beneath him. These people put this stuff right in our face. They put it right in our face. And this stuff is not just comedy shows, because nothing about what they be talking about is even funny. But they putting the truth in plain sight, and they trying to disguise it as a joke. Look at the stuff that they think is funny. They laughing, but the jokes were not funny. They weren't even jokes. But this is the type of stuff that demons find funny. Satan would find someone being harmed funny. Someone being humiliated, he would think that would be funny. Demons don't have the same sense of humor as God. Demons don't have the same sense of humor as children of God. It was nothing funny about the roast of Kevin Hart. I didn't watch it, but the clips I've seen, there was nothing funny about it. The jokes that were made by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson were disturbing. There was nothing funny about it. It was an abomination. It goes against the word of God. Misleading for children. That's why children believe saying stuff like this is funny, and it's just joking, but it's not. There's nothing funny about that. Look at what Cat Williams had on. Look at what this man had on. Look at the imagery in the back. What is that? Is that supposed to be a goat? Is it supposed to be Baphomet? Is it supposed to be a representation of a calf? Either way, no matter which one of those it was supposed to be a representation of, it is demonic. The people that are there speaks volumes, but if those people don't repent, all of them will burn. Not just Kevin Hart. Don't be deceived. I love y'all. God bless y'all. All glory to God. And y'all already know, Jesus Christ is Lord. Nothing about this was comedy.
The craziest part about the Kevin Hart roast is that the other black people up there were literally side-eyeing him every time they told a racist joke, and he would get up and laugh and clap his hands. And
so the roasting of Kevin Hart, we can clearly see that, yeah, it was a humiliation ritual, but I feel like it was a further conditioning of the people. That performance wasn't just on stage, you know. It's like they were checking the temperature just of the masses to see just how far desensitization has come. And when I thought about it, I said, if it's one good thing that anybody could get from watching that, is just to take a time to self-reflect, not just on yourself, but on those around you. And if they found that funny and if they were in agreement with what took place there, it lets you know and lets you see who you connected to. It was very uncomfortable to watch. It was weird. It was disgusting. Nothing, I didn't find it funny. The George Floyd jokes, those comments, the talking about the PDF files and, those who participate in PDF, and it's just like, none of that was funny. None of it was, that wasn't comedy at all, and so that's the only thing I can say good to get from that is self-reflection. That was just an agenda to further it and to just dissolve that line. And think this is the time, marks a day, a time in history that they took it too far. They took it over, It just isn't, it was no longer, that wasn't comedy at all whatsoever.
Regina Hall was me most of that roast, okay? A lot of the things that were being told, I did not laugh at. Why are we making jokes about someone's husband taking their life? Or jokes about George Floyd lynching? I already know y'all gonna call me sensitive. Okay, cool, I get it. But some things should be off limits. Anytime a palm-colored person walked up to the podium, I knew I had to clutch my pearls. I knew I was getting ready to hear something very distasteful. Oddly enough, not too odd, anytime a Black person came up to the podium, I knew I could finally breathe. I knew jokes were finally about to be told. There's honestly so much to unpack from this roast that I don't know if we should even unpack it. I think it's better off packed and tucked. I was like, Netflix, y'all cleared this? Y'all cleared this? And who picked the host? Was Drewski not available? Like, I get Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence might just be out of the tax bracket, but like, y'all couldn't get Drewski?
George Floyd's family is disappointed that Kevin Hart still hasn't said anything about the joke that was aired during his Netflix roast. And now people in Minnesota are demanding an apology.
Kevin Hart and Netflix not saying anything about it is saying something about it.
In a statement, George Floyd's cousin Paris said that the impact of his death was global, stating, "I can't breathe" impacted the world, and it should not be made a mockery of.
Now we say grandma's looking down on you, right? Yeah. So when you say somebody's looking up, are you trying to insinuate that he is in hell? We have to be very intentional and listen to the words that these people are saying as they are trying to rewrite history.
Now, you may not remember, but Kevin Hart actually attended George Floyd's funeral.
You know what, man? It's not about me. I think it's more about just standing with the family, in a moment like this. Just literally letting them know that they're not alone. We now have a job to do, which is elevate our voices, use our platforms, and really push the initiative for change.
One question that still has yet to be answered is, were other jokes censored out of the roast? And if so, why was the one about George Floyd deliberately left in?
There were jokes that were supposed to be in this show about Melania Trump, but they wouldn't allow that.
On the 25th of this month, it will mark 6 years since the murder of George Floyd. After a global outcry for justice, Minnesota is standing up and refusing to let his murder be reduced to a joke.
So we are expecting this comedian to issue an apology to the family of George Floyd and to all victims of police violence. Again, it is not a laughing matter. People in this country are brutally killed every day at the hands of law enforcement. We are also expecting Kevin Hart to step up and speak up. And yet, he has been silent in the aftermath of this assault against George Floyd's legacy and his family and our community.
God bless you, Kevin. God bless this room. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.
It wasn't a joke. It wasn't a punchline. It wasn't for. It was a human being on the ground crying for mama. in front of the entire world. And if it wasn't for a young lady recording that, George Floyd would have just been another name that we'd have marched for, and we would have had no justice for George Floyd.
Black Lives Matter is now trying to cancel Netflix over a joke that was said about George Floyd in the Kevin Hart roast.
You've done good though, Kevin.
Now, this is what BLM had to say.
Again, it is not a laughing matter. We are here today to call your attention to the fact that an egregious, disgusting joke was made about George Floyd. Here we are about to memorialize George Floyd for year 6 after his brutal murder at the hands of the Minneapolis Police Department. Our community is still experiencing grief and trauma. We have young people in our community who were children at the time, they're now teenagers, still dealing with the impacts of the police killing of George Floyd. And instead of allowing our community to grieve in peace, to celebrate George Floyd in peace, we have Netflix comedians making light of the brutal killing of George Floyd. It is unacceptable and it is unconscionable.
Okay, I get you not liking a joke and feeling like it was very distasteful, but making a whole scene out of it is just laughable. We have teenagers that were children at the time of the George Floyd incident that are still dealing with the implications of what happened. What are you talking about? You know, George Floyd wasn't the only one that had jokes said about him at the roast.
Tony reminds me of Charlie Kirk, in that he's definitely been on camera letting a guy unload in his throat.
Did I think that joke was disgusting, horrible, and distasteful? Absolutely. But am I over here making a whole scene about it? Absolutely not. Oh, he made a bad joke. Oh, what a dick. All right. Moving on with my life. Listen, comedians making distasteful jokes makes no difference to my life. Their literal job is to get under people's skin. And no amount of crying about it is going to change what they do. So I'm not going to sit here and whine and bitch and moan about it while they're over there laughing at me. Newsflash, comedians are offensive. That's kind of part of the job.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even on the whole, oh, you made this joke, you gotta get canceled. But some of the jokes they was making at the Kevin Hart roast, that shit was not even funny. It's not even like, y'all roasting motherfuckers who not even in the roast. What did George Floyd have to do with the roast? Is that just some shit you thought was funny that like it was appropriate to say at the roast? That shit was not funny. Bro said George Floyd is looking up at us laughing so hard that he can't breathe. This is not your comedy special. What did that have to do with anything? This shit, motherfuckers just say racist shit nowadays and think this shit can be passed off as comedy. Like, this ain't that.
Proof that no matter how much money black people have, they're still just gonna act like ninjas.
That George Floyd saying that I can't breathe is a punchline. The line is just gonna keep moving. Line 1, racism becomes dark humor, dehumanizing becomes edgy, and empathy becomes weak. A joke can do two different things: challenge power and expose hypocrisy. Will the joke still work if the victim was someone that the audience could identify with? I know that last question changes a lot of y'all's perspective. I'm just saying.
Welcome back, gentlemen. Gentlemen and ladies, I'm sorry for that. That was the reaction of black people and the world, some white people talking about it. And I want to say mine here because personally, I don't want to be on one side. I just want to go by facts. You know me, Kenyan Beast. I go by facts. I go by history. I go by what is on the ground and affects the real life of every today person, like black people, white people. Personally, on my side, this wasn't a good joke. Remember, the issue of George Floyd, it brought up a lot of things. It showed us the other side of the system. And we came up with this movement of Black Lives Matters because it really matters. If black life doesn't matter, and that's what they are doing that. So they are bringing up a discussion that ain't good. Number 1, George Floyd was a father. Number 2, George Floyd was a husband. Number 3, George Floyd was a son to some parents. And the way he died on camera, it was awkward. It was bad. It wasn't right to do that. Bringing up jokes on this was not the best thing to do. And a lot of black people are calling out Kevin Hart for allowing this to happen and even laughed on it and didn't say anything. And up to now, he hasn't said anything about the joke. Some people are saying a joke is a joke. They are saying a roast is a roast, you can roast. But I thought a roast is normally individual. Individual perspective. You cannot roast my family, my kids, my wife. They are not in the entertainment system. They are not comedians. Then why should you roast my family? Roast me individual. You see, like one of these comedians said, Kevin Hart is too small during slavery. They could not use whips to whip him. They could use, I don't know, he said what there. That is individual. It's okay. But if you take this issue and put it in a system, that means you are roasting the whole of black people. And that was disappointment. For me, that's what I think. Because any small chance white folks get, they use it to humiliate black people. Every small opportunity that white folks get or the system gets, they get it or they use it to bring down black folks. That's what I think personally. I don't know what is your comment down there on the comment section. You tell me what you think. I love how black people have come out and let this be a debate because we need to handle these things in a very, very good way. And even if it's to cancel or boycott, then black people are ready to boycott. They have said that. Ready to boycott because this is unacceptable. Dr. Umar spoke. You have seen on the reaction. He has spoken, and whatever Dr. Umar has said, I support it fully, 1,000%. I support it because you cannot use comedy to intimidate the whole race. We ain't all comedian. You cannot use comedy to intimidate the death of someone who brought a lot of discussion in the world. You hear me? For those who are saying a roast, I understand your point too. I'm not saying that your discussion is bad. We have debates. We have nay and yes. We have those who say no. We have those who say yes. For those who say the roast is a roast, I support you. Your value comment, it's valuable. But again, come to think of it, we need to call a spade a spade. Roast has been there for a long time, but a lot of them has not brought discussion like this. Now, the reason why this roast has become a discussion is because this Kevin Hart is in Swahili we said kio cha jamii. It's a figure to the society. The children are looking up to him. The society is looking up to him. He needs to be on the side of creating unity, of creating good discussion, of calling out fake systems, of calling out impunity. He needs to be on the side of making things right, not ruining. And that's why I find this so much offensive, because it came out from a very respected man. He didn't say something, I understand that, but the roast around him was not that good. I hope you have your comment section. You tell me what you think out there. Until next episode, peace out.